Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to a video that I thought would be a nice little introduction to who I am behind the screen, sort of for you to find out a little bit more about, who am I? And that was a Q&A. So I asked my lovely Instagram followers if they had any questions. There were quite a few actually. I was quite surprised by how many there were actually, quite a few similar ones as well. So I've picked 5 different ones, and I thought that it would give a nice bit of a variety, a bit of an overview of different things rather than just sticking with one subject. If any of these things that do come up you are interested to hear more about, please do let me know. But yeah, sorry, I'm looking down because I have a lovely notebook. Let me show you actually. It's a Pucker. I was going to say Paper Chase. It's not Paper Chase. It might have come from Paper Chase. Pucker pad. My very best friend Hannah got me this for Christmas. I love it. I love stationery. That's a bonus question, an answer. But I absolutely love stationery. I love a coloured pen, I love a highlighter, cute little notebooks, to-do pads, bit of me. So starting off, I feel like I've already started, but here we go. What are your career goals / aspirations? So I think this is quite a hard one to answer because I truly do believe that there are different routes that any one person can take and different pathways, and if I'm honest, I sort of not fell into nutrition. I didn't at all. I've always wanted to work with food and mental health particularly, but I don't know, I really don't know what the future holds. And I'm sorry if you can hear rattling or anything like that. I'm just going to stop myself. It's so windy today, but I wanted to get this filmed for you all. So career goals. So at present, for those of you who don't know, I run my Instagram page, which I also run as a freelance business, Georgia Spence Nutrition, where I do some lovely pieces of work with different dietitians and nutritionists also, which I love, and I'm so grateful that I can do that. But I also work in the NHS as a social prescribing link worker for a primary care network where we cover 9 GP practices. It's not just me, there's 3 of us, but it's very spread, very spaced, very busy, and I love it. I really, really do love being a social prescriber. I love working for the NHS. I like to have a bit of best of both worlds, have that private side, but also have that NHS background. That's just my personal preference of what I'm currently doing at the moment. This is in no way an ad or sponsored in any way. I have to say it's an ad because it's an affiliated code. This is what I'm going to say. I do get, a little bit of money if you do use my code. However, something that I found really beneficial when I started my freelance business was Nick and Rose freelance nutrition course. And I can't for the life of me think what it's called. So it's a NutriTribe, I think it's just freelance course. I will include my 10% discount code, which is Georgia10, and a link in this video caption so you can have a little look. But that I found so helpful for my freelance start as well, and they give a lovely little overview because Nick, I believe, still works in the NHS as well. So she was a dietitian, so she's slightly different, but it was really interesting for that perspective. So yes, to summarise, I would love to stay in the NHS and love to stay in a freelance. I would love, and this is one of my goals for 2023, I'm sorry, I really talk with my hands, I know I do, so I know it can be quite off-putting, so I will consciously try not to. But one of my 2023 goals is to really have a push with my freelance business and to really, really explore different opportunities and all that sort of thing. So that is one thing I want to do. That I would love to be able to do that, more than I'm currently doing it, but also quite like to keep a foot in the NHS if I can, and because I really do believe in the NHS. I think it's absolutely amazing. I meet so many different people. I work with some amazing professionals and practitioners. Social prescribing I love, but I would love to do a management thing. I'd love to be like a social prescriber manager or like a practice manager, maybe, that sort of role. My previous role, I was more management based. I managed projects and various funding pots, and I sort of miss that element to it a little bit. So if I can sort of intertwine them closer together, that would be perfect for me. But I don't know, that's very vague, but I have no idea what the future holds. The next question somebody asked me, actually I think this was quite a popular question, any tips for nutrition students? So something that I consciously try to do on my Instagram page, so it isn't a plug but it's me, is to give tips for nutrition students, because it's something that I really struggled to find when I was a student doing nutrition at university. I really struggled and I thought, God, what am I going to do with this degree? How am I going to get into nutrition? I live in a really rural area and community. There's nothing, I don't live in a city. What do I do? And I was stuck, and it's something, and I really had to find things and really push to find things. So if I can help somebody not have to push as hard as perhaps I did, I'm not saying that I'm the only person, I'm sure people pushed a lot harder than I did, but just if I can make it a little bit easier for students, because it is hard, so hard in today's market. But top tips, I would say, work experience, get lots of work experience under your belt. I always encourage people to do work experience in different industries and different settings, different placements. Even, for example, like myself, I perhaps didn't want to do I didn't do a sports nutrition placement, however, because it wasn't my interest, but I wish I kind of had, just to rule it out a little bit more. So just do a placement perhaps in something that you might not consider. So I did a placement with a public health team and for a week, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't perhaps like the office style working so much at the time, however I do really enjoy that now, and I love the public health council team. I think they're brilliant, and it was so interesting, and I was like, you know, I might do this is something that I might consider. And that public health background and interest still continues within me, and I do use it in my current job. So little pieces. And it also gets, the more work experience you do, the more people you meet, and them same people might be interviewing you in future, there might be new colleagues one day. It's always good to link up with people, get on LinkedIn, that's another note. That's really helpful to meet people. Another tip I would say is keep your university lecturers, tutors, coaches, whatever they like to call themselves, details before you leave, for things like references. They're normally very, very happy to give them, but I actually didn't take one of my lecturers' emails, and I had to scour. I think I actually had to ask one of my peers and be like, oh, I don't know, I don't have so-and-so's email, can you send me? Which they very kindly did, but tip. Prioritise mental health. I think this might be a future Taboo Topic Tuesday topic for one, but it's such an underrated conversation, and you know, you see it all the time, people perhaps on, you know, platforms like TikTok, of students really, really struggling and going, oh my God, like my mental health's so low, blah, 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 which is great. I think we need to have this conversation more, and I don't think we should be ignoring it. Like, mental health amongst students is a thing. There's quite a few incidents and you know, low mood amongst students, like anxiety, stress, pressure. They're away from home for the first time. I know I was 18 when I went to university. I was quite newly 18 as well, and it was so scary, and I wish I'd focused more on mental health. I wish I'd prioritised it more. I wish I'd taken advantage of like the counsellors at uni, you know, all the other like the little wellbeing groups. My university was brilliant. It had like the little wellbeing groups, and I just wish I'd went to them, to be honest. So things like that, prioritise your mental health. Take a step back. If you need to take a break, if you need an extension on a piece of work or whatever, ask. Ask your lecturers, ask your tutors, ask your mentors. Just, you know, really, really prioritise that, because ultimately that needs to be a priority. Another tip, I'm trying to think of another tip. There was definitely another one that was on top of my head. It's been a long day. Try not to eat beans on toast every single day. Try a variety. Definitely helps with things like concentration. Get your oily fish in for your omega-3s, definitely. Drink plenty of water. I feel like a mum saying all this. Funnily enough, with my friend Eleanor went to university, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. Hi Eleanor, if you're watching, if you got this far. When she went to university for the first time, I think I sent her like a little card, and in it I think I'd put like little top tips on like what to eat, or like different meals that you can eat that were easy to make, because I think it's such an issue, isn't it, that people perhaps don't know how to cook and so they're relying upon things like ready meals, which, you know, I'm not bashing them. They're convenient, they're cheap, easy, quick to make. However, perhaps don't eat them every single day. Just saying. Also, things like start writing your CV when you're at university as well. Start practicing it. Take advantage of like CV writing courses, dissertation writing courses. A lot of universities, mine was brilliant in it. It had lots of classes and like mentors to help write these things if perhaps you're not very strong at writing. Not everybody is, and that's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed of. So use and take advantage of them. They're there for you to use. I'm just going to have a quick drink. Another one of my resolutions is to drink more water. It's going okay, actually. Wasn't actually a lot of water in that, but oh well. Moving on, before I start tripping on too much, I'm sorry, I am a bit of a talker. So which fad diet do you hate the most? I think that's such a hard question because I hate them all, as you know. I actually don't think I've got an answer because they're all equally ridiculous, harmful, dangerous, bull, S-H-I-T. I think I saw one once that was like, eat Epsom salts to detox, and I nearly cried with anger. I was like, really? Do not do this, period. Do not do this. Just don't do any of them, please. If you take anything from this video, just don't do fad diets. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to lose weight for the right reasons, but do it safely if you're going to do it. You know, focus on what you can add, not what you can take out. I love that. I can't remember who said that, and I was like, I'm going to steal that. So credit to that person, but I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. Next question, why nutrition? Why did I want to go into nutrition? So I've got a very long, detailed story. I'm not going to tell, I'm going to summarise. When I was younger, Jamie Oliver was doing the healthy school meal revamp thing, because it used to be like smiley faces and dino nuggets. I don't know if anyone remembers. He came in and he was like, fruit and veg, carbohydrates, fat, like the eat well plate basically needs to be introduced. And that really sparked something in me. I was like, but why? I think I must have been about 5 at the time, 5, 6. I was like, but why? Why do I need to eat fruit? Why do I need to eat veg? Why? And I just never stopped asking that. Throughout school, I was always really interested in healthy eating. And then at college, I did food tech, health and social and psychology. And I was like, I really got invested into like, the mental health link with food. Things like elderly nutrition's always been an interest, eating disorders, fertility. I used to always want to be a midwife. This is my version of that combined. I like the whole fertility idea of nutrition, that sort of conversation. I think because I'm so I'm new in my career of nutrition, so I've been graduated now for 2 and a bit years, so I'm very, very new. And I just love that there's so many different topics, areas, conversations, research coming out. I'm just interested. I find it interesting. Long story short, I really, really find it interesting. I like helping people. I like meeting new people with different stories, different life experiences, seeing how them life experiences weave into things like mental health and nutrition also. Things like how financial pressures and the cost of living crisis is affecting these things. Food insecurity, obviously I used to work for a food partnership, so that's always going to stick with me as something that I'm interested and passionate about promoting. So that's that one. And then finally, this one's slightly different. So for those of you watching that don't know, me and my boyfriend Daniel have recently bought our first house, which I'm currently, currently sat in. This is like a little wall hang thing. I think I got it from B&M for like £2. Very into like the bohemian looks. But yes, we recently bought our new home. So how did I save, or how did we, should I say, save for the new house? So we both had a lifetime ISA. That brain. Oh, that's my neighbours. It sounds like someone's opened my door. I was like, who's that? Sorry, no. Both had lifetime ISAs. Every single month, without fail, some money would go into a savings pot. Whether that be £10, whether that be £500 if it was a particularly good month and we didn't have anything else to spend on. You know, prioritising that savings rather than going out every weekend or going to expensive restaurants. You know, that was ours. We really prioritised that. You know, things like having a savings jar we did. Things like furniture. So before we bought our new bed and sofas, which I'll go into in a minute, we didn't buy anything new. Apart from the air fryer, which was £100. We did not buy a single thing new. We either very kindly gifted it by family and friends, or we went to charity shops, or we went to car boot sales. So the desk here was from Facebook Marketplace. What else am I looking at? My beauty table in front of me. I sort of have an office/beauty table room. It is what it is. That was from Facebook Marketplace. My bookshelf to the right, that was Facebook Marketplace. There's a lovely coffee table downstairs. Charity shop, £5. And then after that, we needed a bed anyway. So our specs, we have 3 bedrooms. This one is the office/beauty room. One next door is like a double bed, wardrobe, my boyfriend's PC. And then that one over there is the main master bedroom. So we had very kindly, we gifted the spare bedroom bed, but we wanted to get like a new one for the master. We were like, you know, we want to treat ourselves. And we were like, do you know what, we'll buy it new because we haven't bought anything else new. And we did, and I'm so glad we did. It's good to treat yourself, really is good. And then we were buying the bed and I saw 2 blue sofas that matched my living room perfectly on clearance because they were shop displays. I bought them, long story short. Don't regret it, they're comfy, they look good. But yeah, save and don't spend money on things that you don't need to. Like, you don't need to buy brand new furniture. Things like clothes. I don't think I've bought brand new clothes for 6 months, maybe. This was vintage. Because firstly, it's cheaper, and secondly, it's so much better for the planet. But it took us roughly a year and a half to save the deposit. And then obviously we got a mortgage as well. We didn't save the whole value, that would be impressive, wouldn't it? We didn't get anything gifted from parents because we were determined to do it ourselves, and I'm proud to say we did it ourselves. But yeah, set yourself like little goals, sort of set yourself realistic saving goals. So for example, £200 a month each, if you can. Work out your salaries and work out what's feasible. It's going to be different for everybody. Things like bargain shops as well, home bargains. I love B&M, Poundland, Aldi. I always shop in Aldi rather than like Marks and Spencer's or anything like that. Just shop smart. That's something that I want to do more on this channel, is things like cost of living, saving hacks, like shopping hauls and like how to save money. Don't spend £100 a drying rack from Lakeland, buy a £45 one from Dunelm. That's an example of what we've done. I'm not saying we're the best, but I do love budget saving. I like shopping smart. I'm a bargain hunter. I'm not afraid to say it. I love bargain. Was it Bargain Hunt on TV? It was like a daytime programme. I used to always watch that when I was at my grandparents' house during the day. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now. Any other questions, let me know. I'll put the discount code and link for Nick and Rose freelance training course So it's an affiliated link, just to note, for full transparency. But yeah, I will speak to you soon, I am sure. I'm sorry that this has waffled on now for 22 minutes or 20 minutes and 5 seconds. Anyway, let me know if you want any videos, any requests, that sort of thing. And yeah, lovely to speak to you. See you later. Have a good week.